Hi everyone. So after some really great feedback from a friend, Brian, I'm making this video to describe kind of why this is happening, why this project was put into motion in the first place. So there's two parts to this answer. The first and most important reason is because this is essentially the kind of community that we want to live in, the co-authors. Where people can discuss really big ideas and have their voices heard in such a way that kind of contributes to the conversation instead of talking about things. And it'll allow us each as individuals to critique our own thoughts and opinions, because you can really only do that through friends and through family with other people in community. In the form of discussion. That's how you kind of hear yourself and see if it feels right or if it feels wrong. So we want to use the media tools that exist today, like YouTube and podcasts, combine that with these social platforms like Reddit and Google Documents, these collaboration tools, and combine them with real humans and with all their experience and their expertise. Because we think that this is how the questions of the future are going to be answered. And this is how we can figure out what's really important for us. We'll be able to figure out what feels true. And there's this like untapped potential for collective intelligence and collective intuition to become really trustworthy in a world where it's kind of hard to disseminate what's fact and what's fiction. We need to figure out how to leverage the tools at our disposal because all of this stuff already exists. It's just a matter of learning to use the tools and getting practice with, what it feels like to have a discussion where you're listening and there's this iteration where it's back and forth before you kind of come to a conclusion. So that's the kind of symbolism that we're using with Reddit and YouTube. There's this back and forth, not to just state an opinion or to say this is what's fact, but to put it all out there so that we can come up with our opinion and then vote, and then whatever the collective opinion is kind of what carries the day, or at least pushes the conversation forward until more information comes, and then people can adjust their opinions, and it's just this constant circle of iteration. There are no answers to a lot of these questions, but the process is very, very important. We think that increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of our conversation techniques in honing our ability to collaborate and mobilize people behind one story or another, whether it's for defense or security or whether it's to save a species from extinction or to get people the emergency response that they need, or whether it's to save the planet from global level climate change or an asteroid impact. Whatever it is, we're going to have to come together in bigger numbers with more velocity as we progress and get into the future. So that's the main reason. And then, of course, personally, I have my own reasons. Every co-author will. But I left a career in engineering almost 3 years ago now. I left a city I loved in Vancouver. I left friends I loved and coworkers I loved because I didn't have a job I loved, and I was privileged enough in my life to be able to afford the time and space to put towards finding a way that I could contribute to my community and not just myself. And I didn't feel like I was doing that in my last career. And in the last few years, I've discovered that the best way I know how right now to serve my community is through a project like this. So I've been working on this project for months, and for the last 2.5 years, I was writing my first book. And there's really nothing else I'd rather be doing right now than waking up in the morning and being in conversation with all the beautiful and creative people that I have in my life. There's real genius around me. And it's been around me my whole life growing up. that's really the main thing that's gotten me out of my depression. There were enough of you looking out and checking in on me, and keeping me inspired. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm just surrounded by the most wonderful people. And I know that all of my friends are too, and this is the best way I know how to pay you all back, is by bringing you all together to be able to talk about the things that you care about and the things that you love in the world. And when I hear people talk about what they love and what they find inspiring in the world, well, that's just the most beautiful thing. So that's why I'm doing it, and I hope other co-authors make their own videos for why they're being a part of this project. And anybody who wants to say why they find it important, either write it down or make a video and throw it up, and let us see why you guys think this is important.